Okay, so this is a video I'm recording to help Tristan, but later on homework one, the second part, palindrome, and later I think other people may need this, so I may share this video to other people as well. So how do we start? So well, number one, I want to remind you guys we are building palindromes, so we are not checking anything. So on the fly, we build palindromes, and everything we build will be valid palindrome for sure. So we'll say if I start from here, this is the empty string, and then well, the next part, and if I want to do the length as 5, and then well, I can do 3 different C's. So they are C, I, and V. Okay, so I'm calling them my C's when length, when target length is an odd number, right? And the next part is, well, my trick will be if I have a palindrome, and then if at the very beginning, at the end, we add the same letter, it will be a palindrome again. So for example, I have this C, okay? And then if I add a C at the very beginning, a C at the end, this is guaranteed to be a palindrome because I'm adding the same thing at the beginning, at the end. And similar thing, if I have C, and then if I add I at the beginning and I at the end, it will be a palindrome again. So the approach we are trying to apply is when we are building a palindrome, we add one letter from the letter we are able to pick, and then we add the same letter to the very beginning and the end of an existing palindrome. So we have one more palindrome. So if I grab this one again, and then what I want to do is, well, at the very beginning, at the very end, I add the same character. So VICIV. Okay, this is another palindrome. So when we are building palindromes, we don't want to check anything. We don't want to check if it is really a palindrome, because if we use this idea, what we are building will be palindromes for sure. Okay, and then now let's talk about how I would like to code this. So if I want to define a palindrome builder, and then I have, okay, this should be current string, and then comma target length, comma current length, comma chars. Okay, so this will be my palindrome builder function. So the number one thing I want to check is the base case. And the base case in this approach will be if the target length, the target length I'm trying to build equals the current length I have in this current string. And then what does this mean? Say if my target is 5, and then the string I have is already VICIV. And then do I want to add a C at the very beginning, at the end? The answer is no, because this length is 5 already, and then the target is 5. So the first thing I want to check is if target length equals the current length. Okay, so this means this string is already at the target length, so there's no more space to grow this palindrome. So we want to stop. So this is we are at the target length already. So print. So we don't do anything else. We just print the current string. Okay. So this will be what my base case. So if I expand this string, and then when I reach the target length, I don't want to expand anymore. I just want to print it. Okay. And then the next part will be, well, I want to talk about the C's. So just now I say from here, this is where we start. And then the first step is, well, we have to decide if the target is an odd number. We are going to start from one single letter, which is CI. I, and V, right? So that is, so Elif. Well, otherwise, well, the next part I want to do is I want to check if this current string has already been seeded or not. Now, this is my approach of doing this. There are many different ways to do this problem. So, well, once I put the seeds, and then the rest of the steps will be simply I add the same character to the beginning and the end. And then I add the same character to the beginning and the end. So, well, the second part, what I want to do is I want to put seeds. And then we only need to put this when we start from an empty string. So if the current length equals 0, so this means, well, in the current string, and then there's nothing here. So I want to put the seeds, and then the seeds should either be 1 letter or 2 letters. Okay, so put seeds. So, and then if we start from here, and then, well, we know that the target is an odd number. So if target length mode 2 equals 1, and this is an odd number, and then what I want to do is I want to put the seeds. So I want to pick 1 letter and then put the seeds. So it will be, well, for current seed in chars. Okay, so I want to visit all the characters, and then what I want to do is I want to call this again. So build palindromes, and then I want to call this with the current seed. So that is, I want to grab 1 letter from here. I want to call that the current seed, and then for the target, it will be the same target. But for the current length, it will be 1 because now I'm using the C or I or V as the current seed. And then, well, and then for the chars, they are the same. So here, when I'm starting from here, and it is an odd number, and then I want to use each letter from the possible characters here, and then as the current seed, and I want to do a recursive call, and then the target length is the same, but I'm starting from 1 because there is 1 character in the current string already, and then I have the character. I have the characters, so they are the same. They are the CIV here. Okay, so this is then it is an odd number, and then else. So else it will be an even number. And then I'm gonna do this again, but well, I know it is an even number. So instead of C, I, and V, the C's should be CC, II, and VV. So let me change it here. So it will be CC, II, and VV. And then the next round, so it's an even number. And then the next round, I'm going to grab CC, and then I'm going to add I at the very beginning at the end. So I'm building another palindrome, but now I'm building the palindromes using an even number as a target. So Tristan, are you still with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so well here, what I want to do is, well, I know it is a target will be an even number. So I want to build the C's as CC, II, and VV, right? So what do I need to change here? So this design is to build the seed strings using odd number as a target. But now I'm trying to build CC, II, and VV. So do you know what do I need to change here on this one?
Do you need to add the seed together and then
Yes,
change the
right.
length to 2?
Yes, right. So well, I'm going to repeat the current letter twice, right? So if I grab C, I want to repeat the C twice, so it is CC or II or VV. And then the current length will be a 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so well, this is the first part. And then this is base case. And the base case, we check if we have reached the target. And then this is the seeding part. So we are trying to put the seeds. And depending on the target is even value or odd value, we will decide, do we want to use the seed as C, I, V, or the seeds like CC or II or VV. But when we put the seeds, we know our work may not be done yet. So we want to do the recursive cost. So we put the seeds, and then the target lengths are the same. And then the current length will be 1 or 2, depending on how we put the seeds. And then the charts will be the same. So this will be the second part. And then the next part will be the recursive cost. So I'm going to stop here. I won't do the rest of the part for you. But what you need to do is, iterate through the possible charts we can use. Say what, and then for each current string, we have build a possible char plus current string, and then plus possible char again. Well, because the current string is a palindrome, and then we are grabbing one character from chars, and then we are adding the same letter to the beginning and the end. So we are building another palindrome. And this is going to be an iteration for sure, because you have to visit all the characters in the charts. So there should be an iteration here in this else branch, and you also need to have recursive cost. So this will be my hint. And Tristan, do you have any other questions?
No.
Okay.
What you did made a lot more sense to me, but I'm still blanking on how to finish it, but I'm sure I'll figure it out.
Okay. So I have done. I've shown you this one. This is the base case. So we check if we reach the goal. So if we reach the target, we stop. So this is the base case part. And then this problem is a little bit tricky, because depending on the target is even or odd, and then we may put different seeds. So this is the additional part. And then after that, if we are not at the goal yet, what we have to do will be, we start from the current string, and then we add the same letter to the beginning and the end. We build another palindrome. So it will be, you need to have a iteration here and recursive function call inside the for loop. So this will be my hint for you. I really have to stop typing, because otherwise I'm giving my solution to you guys. Okay. Do you have any other question?
No, that's it.
Okay, yep, I hope this helps. Okay, I'm gonna stop share, and then I'm gonna stop recording too.